What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Tougen Anki, episode 24 and full season. So in this episode, Shiki, I guess calms down, so like his little rampage is over. Mikado, having seen Shiki's fire, realizes that Shiki was not responsible for the fires earlier, and so Mikado basically leaves the Momotaro, and then all the Oni, they escape, and basically everyone goes back to like everyone basically starts recovering, dealing with the fallout. And then, yeah, so, and then basically, years of it so where Mudino's at a grave for an old friend, and, Shiki says he wants to get stronger so he doesn't have to, like, basically, so he can, control, like, his childhood Kishin powers, and so, like, he can, I guess not, other people don't have to worry about him. And yeah, so basically, then, yeah, so a lot of it, like a lot of it, it's just like wrapping things up for the rest of this season because there is a season two coming. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty good episode. Looking forward to season two. I liked this season. Liked how they introduced the characters, developed each person's powers, and then obviously the Shiki versus Mikado fight. That was a good fight. Mudino is basically your standard. It's a very generic show. Like Tougen Anki is very it uses a lot of tropes. You have the stoic and like teacher who kind of acts like a dick sometimes, but like does care about his students and what he does. Like the kind of thing that's been done before. Kakashi and Naruto, um, Eraserhead, My Hero Academia, and plenty of others. So Muno is basically like one of those and how his personality is. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good season. Looking forward to season two. Kurumizawa's Folly, Chapter 11. So in this chapter, Hasegawa, the new teacher, gives Hada a copy of Cyber Joe to read. Basically, it's a way to help him learn how to read. So Hada can't read kanji, but he can kind of understand what's going on using the images as context. So it does help him get a little better at reading. And you see how and Hada basically uses him like read and studies how to draw, and so other students like, ask him to draw stuff. So he gets very good at drawing, and like he starts being happier, at school. But he has the issue of falling asleep during class, and like he falls asleep. Like, and basically, there's an issue with that, and so one of the things that teacher shows them movies. Basically, he's able to use the projector, and then yeah, and then yeah. So basically, everyone likes the new teacher, and Holly goes to the rental store to rent some manga, and basically, so things are going well for Hada, and Hasegawa talks to Hada's mother about things, how like how his reading, I guess, has somewhat improved. Now he still can't read kanji, like, but he can understand context using the images, especially with his mother reading the manga aloud to him. That's helped a lot. And yeah, and but obviously there's an issue he can't read kanji. Now I don't know how in the world that is going to be fixed. Obviously, it does not get fixed by the present day. Obviously, and then yeah, and then of course, but he still can't write. And then basically seems like there is some trauma with Hada. So like when he tries to write, he's like he remembers something from the past, and it's like he's paralyzed or something. And so when Hasegawa talks to his mother about the Hada sleeping during class, like even though he has gotten better, he still has the issue. And basically, his mother says that Hada stays up all night, and that she'll try to get him to go to like go to sleep earlier. And then and then Hasegawa like has some students says that they were called to practice doing pullovers, so has he wants he calls along with Hada, yeah, Shigeko, Miyuki, and Nobutaka, just some other students. They're told to do pullovers, and so they all do it. And then once those three, and then Hasegawa takes Hada to a room, puts on like puts on a little cartoon on the TV while talking to Hasegawa asks Hada why he falls asleep at school. Basically, he's concerned, and he basically says he wants to help if he can. Hada asks him to keep quiet, like promise not to tell anyone about something, and and basically he gets woken up. He says he gets woken up, and Hasegawa asks if it's by like a rooster or owl or something, and then Hada says that his father basically comes to his room and wakes him up. It wakes him up at night, and that's how it is. It doesn't Skilly says why his father comes into his room. Um, Given the way it's framed, like it, it could be really bad. Like there's some definite traumatic stuff that might have happened to Hada. Like so, hmm. So and it hints at some bad stuff was about to happen probably to the teacher, probably to Hada, maybe Hada's father as well. So like from what I've seen, discuss like some discussions that his father, Hada's father, basically some people are thinking it might be a basically like I say something maybe Hada's just like his father like beats him up, like that's a possibility, or like where he's a drunk or whatever, like the violent kind of drunk, or he does other stuff to Hada. Like yeah, either way, it's just got dark. This series got really. I mean, obviously, it already got dark with Hada having a little mental breakdown when he learned what Kurumizawa did, and hinting that Hada might do something really violent to like basically might kill Kurumizawa. But with what happened with Hada's past, what we're seeing, oh, it's a dark past. Like it's gotten dark. So it looks like things are really picking up. So yeah, I liked this chapter, how it progressed, like the backstory for how he develops as a character, like why it's Dungeon was showing why he has some of the issues he has. See, I like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Shabake, episode 13 and series. So in this episode, so so Ichitaro deals with the Tsukumogami. Basically it's basically that the villain's defeated, and then everyone celebrates. Matsunosuke basically becomes like part of the family, and then everyone all the spirits return, and then and so yeah, basically it's just a wrap up. So villains defeated, then everyone moves on, peacefully, and yeah, so I thought this was a that was a decent episode, just a good way to wrap up. As well, Matsunosuke is allowed to live with the family, basically reconcile everyone. So yeah, I thought this was a good wrap up, and I thought it was a decent series. You know, basically so the show it basically simple mysteries like, hey, you have a killer, they're trying to find the killer, and they do. Like, it's not some big thought out. It's a decent simple story. I thought it was a good show. I don't know if we'll get a season two, but if we do, I'll watch it. Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.